Going on YouTube, Cloverbell's here back with another Scarlet Violet video. Today we've got a different kind of video today. We've got the LabMaus website loaded up here, and that is because we have the creator of the website himself. So Tim is joining us here on the channel, and if you guys don't know Tim, he, like I said, is the original creator of the website. And if you've watched any of our team building videos before or any of our tournament analysis videos, you know that we've been using this website quite extensively because it has a lot to offer, not just in terms of data, but it just gives us informed decisions on what could be an ideal team in terms of building currently, right? So if you guys need a resource in terms of team construction, or if you're just trying to figure out like what's good in the meta right now, what's maybe not so good, this is a great website to use. And I can't think of a better person to feature and bring onto the channel today than the creator himself. So Tim, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us just how the website of LabMaus came to be?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. As Joe said, my name is Tim. I'm the creator. I started with VGC at the start of Pokemon Sword and Shield. And so I've been playing for a few years now. Just kind of casually, I've always been more interested in the data analytics side. And that kind of started when I was playing in a few online tournaments. And it was always very small local scenes where we would usually display the top 8 teams as the results, and then that would be basically it. And I always felt like I need more. I want to see what was coming and what was popular, and people would cover that for the big regionals, but never for the small local communities. So that's kind of where LabMaus originated, with trying to support lots of these smaller content creators.
Yeah, for sure. And like the smaller tournaments, like the grassroots stuff, that's always like useful because the regionals you'll get maybe like 1 or 2 a month, sometimes maybe 3, but that's not enough sometimes, especially if you're trying to like compete for the world championships. If you're just trying to build up to it, you still need more data. And looking at some of these grassroots, some of these are like really big too. Like, Tom's tournaments, they're going like 100 plus, Himi Turner tournaments, 100 plus people. Like that's almost like a small regional. I think those tournaments are always worth looking at. Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, they have had some special tournaments that have actually exceeded some regionals in terms of size. And they've just been really cool to check out. And as you said, you only have so many regionals, even in between NAIC and Worlds, there's almost a 2-month gap where the meta can develop so much, and you need to rely on the grassroots in order to see how the meta is changing.
Exactly. And even now, right? Since NAIC, there's no regional since then. Victory Road has had to host like a couple of these bigger tournaments, 200 plus people. And I think a tournament like that, goes without saying, like, yeah, I need to know what's hot, leading into Worlds. I can't just go in there cold, right, with no prep. So looking at some tournaments like that, definitely helps a lot. So I want to talk about the website itself. It didn't always look like this, right? So like, what was the origins of the website before this final product, or I should say like quote unquote final product?
Oh, so it was originally a Discord bot that I wrote for several reasons. That was back kind of at the end of, or mid to end of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I kind of developed the Discord bot, and that has gradually grown over time. There's 2 original reasons for its creation. One, as I mentioned, was providing data for smaller communities, and the other one was providing trends data. Because as you would know as a Pokemon content creator, a lot of people on YouTube, when they say, hey, we're seeing in between these 2 regionals, there's a downward trend in something like Palafin. And usually they will only look at the previous regional, and they'll say, hey, there's been a massive downtrend. And they just say that because that's their instinctual feelings, and they don't have the proper data. And so that was one thing I really wanted to focus on, was being able to draw these trend lines in between several regionals, so you can actually see these trends and be able to give more accurate predictions as to what to expect in the next tournament.
I see, I see. Well, hopefully we can, look at that and see what that might look like since NAIC leading into Worlds, right? We still have that brief time period, so we'll see what stuff like that looks like. And at the same time, we'll go through a couple of examples of just how you can really utilize this resource in terms of your team building. So this way, it'll just give you informed decisions as to what to pair certain Pokemon with and what kind of sets you might have. Now, that being said, we will note that this site, Tim, you might even want to elaborate on this. There's no EV spreads for Pokemon, correct? And you might want to explain why.
I mean, yeah, the easy explanation is just that this focuses on tournaments where the rule set is open team sheet, which includes moves and items and Pokemon and everything, but it doesn't include natures and EVs. And so at these tournaments, I simply lack that data. I could technically pull that from places like Pokemon Showdown, where Pikalytics usually gathers that data, but that would not be a accurate comparison to the tournament data itself. And also, it's displaying EV spreads is very, very difficult. And even if you are able to say, hey, I have this top 8 players really fantastic EV spread, if you don't know the ins and outs of why they have these specific stats, then you're not going to be able to utilize it properly. You don't know that, hey, he invested 156 into defense specifically to turn this 3-hit or 1-hit KO into a 2-hit KO. And I feel like a lot of that stuff is best suited for team reports.
Yes, exactly. I always tell people this, especially during our own coaching sessions. Sometimes I ask people, like, why did you EV this Pokemon the way you did? Oh, I just pulled the popular set on Pikalytics and just used that. And I always tell people that's a mistake, because if something is meant to outspeed under Tailwind and you don't even have Tailwind on your team, then what good is that EV set, right? So, I always tell people, take it with a grain of salt at the very least. Just grab what, is an ideal 6 based on the data. And then from there, you can kind of make your own sets just following, a couple, principles and rules. But anyway, enough about that. So what we're going to do now, folks, we're going to go through more of the website. So this way, like I said, you guys can get a good feel of how to take advantage and really get the most out of the LabMaus website. All right, so now we'll do an example of looking at a particular tournament and extracting some data and drawing some conclusions. So this way, it can give you a sense of what's being played right now in the current meta. So on the left-hand side, we have the All Tournaments button. So we're going to go ahead and click that, and then you're going to see all of this. And it's showing you all the recent tournaments. And let's just pick a decently sized one, right? So I look here where it says number of players. I want to pick like a decently sized one because, bigger tournaments just mean, bigger data that you can look at in terms of analysis. So let's look at a recent Himi Turnitin from July 24th. So Tim, walk me through this. So I click this tournament. What can I get out of this?
There's lots to extract. First off, one of the things that most people are concerned about would be the Pokemon and their usage. So you can easily scroll down through the Pokemon page and you can see, okay, how many times did it appear, the actual usage percentage, win rate, and score. If you click on that, as well as top placement, then if you click on Rillaboom, then you're able to see that you get the full move breakdown, items, teammates, who are its most popular teammates, the Terra types abilities, as well as opponents. That's probably one of the sections I need to refine the most. It did beat 100% of Torkoals, but there's how many Torkoals were there? There was one Torkoal, so it beat 100% of Torkoals.
Wait, where do you actually see that? I don't quite know.
Oh, I scrolled down to teams. I just typed in Torkoal.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do that. Torkoal. Okay. Like this?
Yep. So there's exactly the one. The other option.
Oh, I see. Okay, so yeah, we beat all the Torkoals. We beat all the Dusclops. We beat Reggie. Okay, all right. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right, that one is, when there's only a single other Pokemon, it's not the most insightful data. I might just need to exclude those. But yeah, you can see how it's doing against what its win rate is against other Pokemon in the tournament.
I see. And then, of course, here's like the more popular move sets here. You can see Grassy Glide, Fake Out, U-Turn, High Horsepower. And the Assault Vest was used 40 times. So that's 89% of the Rillaboom's in the entire tournament.
It's an
Yeah.
incredible amount.
Who's using Drain Punch Rillaboom? How do I okay, let me ask you this. Let's say this set right here. Let's say I want to find this team using Drain Punch Rillaboom. How do I do that?
Oh, so yeah, that is something that people will usually use this Stallruth Top Cut Explorer for, and they can get a lot of that information very easily. The easiest way to do it on LabMaus is to use the Find Teams page. So you go to the Find Teams page, you would put in Rillaboom.
Okay. All right.
And then you would expand details, and you would put a move, and you would put Drain Punch.
And then just click the Hemi Turner tournament that had it.
Yeah, you could also refine that a bit by just specifying the tournament as Hemi Turner.
Oh, how do I do that?
Just at the top of the filters. Tournament name right at the top.
Right here. Okay.
Yeah, it is case sensitive. That's the that and player name are case sensitive. That's one thing that's always been. I think it's Hemi all caps.
Oh, so I have to actually cap it if I want to find. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. But is this the same one? This looks like it was a 58-person tournament. Maybe if I just do the search, maybe it was a recent one.
Oh, you didn't specify Rillaboom.
Oh, oops.
But that 50 was the placement of the team, not the number of players.
Oh, okay. I see. So that's pretty interesting. Okay. So Drain Punch, and then if I do show details, let me just type in again Drain Punch here. Okay. And then if I do the search, and this is the tournament that it happened in, and it got 58th place, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me take a look here. And yep, that is correct. Drain Punch Rillaboom. Holy cow. Okay. Well, what a set. All right, so let's go back here. Let's go back to that tournament here. Okay, so we're looking at Rillaboom here. That's great. All right, so that's cool. So I can see, moves usage. I can see item usage, and just how often they're used. Like, again, we saw the 89% Rillaboom. And then teammates, right? So you're telling me that Rillaboom was paired with Urshifu 64% of the time in this tournament?
Yeah, 64% of Rillaboom had Urshifu Rapid Strike as a teammate.
I see. And then, of course, the most commonly paired restricted looks like Zamazenta with Calyrex Shadow Rider close behind. So that's food for thought, right? And then again, this might give you some ideas for like teams. Okay.
And then And then, you can actually see that reflected in the team composition section just on the right, where it shows the most popular pair was Rillaboom and Urshifu Rapid Strike, which were on 32% of all teams.
Yeah, and then look at that. Instant Rillaboom. How about 3-person composition? Looks like Raging Bolt, Rillaboom, Urshifu was common enough. And then, of course, the Fire Water Grass Boars, Instant, Rillaboom, Urshifu. How about 4-man cores? Okay, now we can see the restricted being used. So look at this.
Yeah.
Calyrex Shadow Rider, Rillaboom, Urshifu, and Raging Bolt. There's your starting 4-man core. In terms of popularity, right? Now, we're not saying this is the most successful. What it is, it's showing me the most common, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So again, if you want a starting point, you can just go by this. Okay, I'm just going to slap these 4 boys on and then go from there. You could even look at 6-man. So now, this might tell you something else, right? Okay, so now it gives you complete composition in terms of how often these 6 came up. So that's pretty cool. And then now what about items here? What is this telling me here?
Oh, I love looking at this because it's hard to find this data anywhere else. That this is just, okay, Focus Sash is the most commonly used item in the tournament. And Assault Vest, it is, I feel like a lot of people don't realize this because they don't have this data if you're not looking at LabMaus, is that Assault Vest has consistently been the number 1 or number 2 item most used throughout the entirety of Scarlet and Violet. It is it has very consistently been between 70 to 80% of all teams.
Wow. And if I just click, focus sash, and this tells me that Urshifu at 23.8% was the most common holder of the focus sash in this tournament.
Correct, yeah.
Ah, I see. Then we have Chen Pao, then we have Smeargle, then the other Ursh. And then who's the most common user of Assault Vest? Looks like Rillaboom, then Iron Hands and Raging Bolt. Yeah, that makes sense.
All to be expected, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, Terra types, I would assume this is more or less the same idea. Like, Terra Water was the most common Terra in this tournament, and the most popular choice was the Urshifu, right? Is that what this is telling me?
Exactly, yep.
I see. Okay. Now in terms of, I think you may have said it, what about like, okay, so win rate here. So now if I did this, so looks well, is that a coincidence? It says that mouse hold, the icon of LabMaus, is in fact the most successful, by win percentage in this tournament. Is that what this is telling me?
Yeah, that wasn't planned at all.
Yes, but of course you have to look at usage rate, right? And it says like, oh, it appeared on one team, and that one team went 7-2, more or less, right?
I mean, same thing with Weezing, and they were both used on the same team.
Ah, exactly. Look at that. And then again, this is like all useful information. Look at this bear tick, right? Like, I also wanted to do a video on this because I know bear tick recently won a regulation G2. Like, bear tick won this, right? And I guess this is the team that bear tick was used on. And this was the set, and we can probably find that team below. I'm pretty sure I got a top code result here.
They got 16th.
16th, right? Oh my god, no face. How about this for Beartick? And then, so this is another thing. Like, let's say if I wanted to go through his run, like this guy, No Face from Japan, 6'3". Mm-hmm. If I click on the team itself, I can see the people he beat, right? And then I can also see the 6 that he was going up against, yeah?
Correct. I'll put a disclaimer on that. That is at the moment specifically for desktop. On mobile, just because it's such a small screen that clicking it just brings you to the team page. It doesn't actually display the run history.
Oh, I see. Oh, we got a mobile app, you say?
I mean, not mobile app, just the mobile format.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, this is all good information. Like, so we can see, the success that he has. So he's beaten, Zamazenta and Ice Rider. He's beaten a lot of Ice Rider teams, actually. And for something like this, losing to Calyrex in the finals. But again, he's also beat quite a few other Calyrex Shadow Riders. So that's, again, this is also like good information just in terms of their run itself. Okay, so that's cool. Again, win rates is good. Like, I'm not going to pick Pokemon that had like 20% win rate. That's not going to give me the best team. So, it's just a good, fit starting point. And also you can see their record, right? So you want to take it with a grain of salt. Like Pikachu at 66% win rate. Okay, cool. But 2-1, that's not enough data, right? That's like inconclusive. You want like a large sample size. Like Calyrex Shadow Rider is a good case where 62-39, that's a lot of matches. That's more reliable, right?
Correct. Yeah, you do need to take some of that with a grain of salt because the higher the usage, the more it tends to even out. But yes, that is for being the 8th most used, for having a 61% win rate is pretty staggering.
Wochian, 0%. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Okay,
that's sad.
I see. All right, that's great. All right, and then we've got moves here. Okay, so now we go to the moves again. Wait, what's this? Oh, this is special attack and physical attack. And what's this? Oh,
status.
Oh, status moves. Ooh, I see. Protect. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, now you know that we're playing VGC. Protect is the most common used move, okay? And without surprise here, who's the most common protect? Oh, Raging Bolt with Protect. Wow.
That really tells you something when it's also one of the most commonly used for Assault Vest.
Yeah, wait, what the heck? Okay, now that is something to explore. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, actually, sorry, only 4 use Assault Vest.
Ah, I see.
Out of 26, so.
Oh, wait, how did you figure that out? Oh, wait, you can see that.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, so only, wow, okay, yeah, 6.25%. So, Again, it's just all like useful stuff. Who's the most? I would assume this is like Rillaboom Ursh. Yeah, there we go. Okay, 45 and 32. That's expected.
Yep.
And then, wait, what is it? Okay, this. Yeah, you can probably guess like a lot of this stuff, but sometimes you'll get like an interesting tech that people don't expect. Just who's using Poison Jab? Is this Toxicroak? Oh my goodness! And we got one Urshifu there. Okay, that's pretty cool.
I'm not surprised. There's been a few, or I believe that Terra Poison Urshifu is picking up in usage. So
Okay. Yeah, and then this is something that I've always used, right? Just like in terms of record, just who did the best and who did not, right? Just going by record wise, so that's also good. And then it just formats it in order, correct?
correct. Yep.
Yeah, that's also really useful. Like I if I'm looking at this, okay. Now let's say there's a lot of teams here. Okay, let's say I didn't want to look at all 89 teams. I just want to look at top cut. How do I narrow that?
So yeah, at the top of the page there, you see just under the 89 teams, you can put in, say, top 16,
Okay.
and you just hit enter.
Okay. Now, does that affect the rest of the data, or just only shows me top 16?
That affects all the data. So team composition, that is now team compositions only for top 16. This is all the Pokemon results for top 16. You see Rillaboom went from like 36 to 8. So it jumped in usage up to actually 50%.
I see. Yeah, so now, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we also have one additional field now in the Pokemon page, which is the advanced rate, which is the percentage of the Pokemon which actually moved on from the full, all 89 teams to the top 16.
Oh, so what you're saying is that of all the Rillabooms that were played, 17% of them advanced.
Correct, yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, that's what advance rate means. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So who had the highest? Ursaluna. Wow. So you're telling me that of all the Ursalunas that were played, all of them went into top cut.
There is 2 Ursalunas that appeared. Both made it into top 16. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So then now I have to I have to keep in mind the appearance rate, right? So let me backtrack. So of the 8 Rillabooms, only 17% made it through to top.
There's a little bit of just needing to know the data and how that works, in that when you're dealing with a Pokemon that you had how many, hold on, let me reset this. We had 45 Rillaboom and 8 made it into the top 16.
Oh, okay. That's what it means.
And so when you have more than that top cut, it's less efficient to look at the advance rate and more efficient to look at the difference in between the usage. So in all 89, Rillaboom had 50.56% usage and went to 50% usage. So that's pretty steady.
Yeah, all right. So that's pretty consistent. Yeah, so I guess we have to like go back and forth here, but that's still pretty good. Like, and then we can also see win rate, like 61% win rate for Ogerpon Cornerstone is pretty cool. And then we can see their overall score. So that's nice. Okay, yeah. So like top 16 data is also pretty relevant. Like, I just want to look at top cut, and this is what I'll see. So I get to filter out all the other 200 teams that, if this was a regional page that, didn't make it through. So that's good. And then this team composition, this item, this Terra, this is all only for top cut, correct?
Correct, yep.
So now Rocky Helmet is the most common item. How about that? Okay. And who's that? Oh, it's Amoonguss. Okay, Volcarona. And then, hey, there's that guy Mousehold again. All right. Okay, Terra type. Okay, the Urshian Kyogre. That's pretty good. Ghost. Okay, Instant Grimmsnarl. And then in terms of stuff. Okay, so this is great. So like, again, it just tells me a whole lot in terms of like, again, not just only usage rate, but win percentage, appearance. And then of course I get to preview some of the sets here that some of them might use. Yeah.
I'll just correct you. Rocky Helmet wasn't the top. It went back to Assault Vest with 87.5.
Wait, what the heck? Then wait. Why did I see Rocky Helmet there?
You just had scrolled down.
Oh, oops. sorry. I misused my scroll bar there. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. There's that Beartic at 7%. That means there might have been. Was there more than one bear tick on this team? Wait a second.
No, there's only one bear tick in top 16.
Okay, it was just the way the math works. Okay, so wait, yeah, I get to find that bear tick at 6-3 here, and this is that squad. So it's icicle crash, snarl, icy wind, sheer cold. Who is this player? All right, and then,
cold.
yeah, and then look at this icy wind, grass knot, tornadoes. Okay, this is a set. Choice band, Terra Dark Urge. This is Specs Kyogre. Okay, we briefly covered Specs Kyogre in a video, but Bear Take. Yeah, I want to do a separate video on Bear Take. I have some stuff to say about this Pokemon, but it was nice to see that it had some success in this tour.
Also had that poison jab on Urshifu we talked about.
Yeah, there it is right here. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong team. Oops, let me close that. And there is that poison jab. Okay, so great. So is there anything else that we didn't hit in terms of looking at this one specific tournament?
No, I think we covered it pretty efficiently.
Okay, that's great. So now what we're going to do, folks, now we're going to take a look at trends. So this way we can use that and see if we can make predictions leading into potential world championship here. All right, now actually, before we go into trends here, I also want to look at a couple of these other functions. Let's look at top teams next, and then we'll do find teams. So what we want to do, so if we click top teams, again, this will show record-wise how certain teams did recently, and also their win rates. You can also filter by win rates, but I do want to click regulation here and make sure it's just regulationG, right? Because sometimes there's some custom formats within this date, which we can also change, by the way, right? So you included a calendar filter, correct?
Yep, correct.
Okay, so I want to look at only the top teams after NAIC. So when was NAIC? I can't remember.
NAIC was, let's see. NAIC finished June 9th.
June 9th, right? So I can do, let's say June 10th, right?
Yep.
June 10th, and then leading up to today, which today is, the 29th here. All right, so now, and then if I click regulationG, okay, now I can click apply filter. And now I'm only looking at the teams, top teams after North American International Championships, right? So now I can start filtering, correct?
Correct, yep.
Okay, so it looks like, again, you have to take it with a grain of salt, like record versus win rate. So record-wise, I guess going off of sample, looks like this Koraidon team was the most successful. But then if I go by win rate, all right, now it's showing me the Zamazenta squad, correct? So you want to talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the default filtering is based off of the scoring, which you can actually click on the scoring tab and get not on sorting, beside the composition.
Oh, right here.
4, 5, 6. Yes, that is something that a lot of people don't realize that they can click on. That this provides the scoring breakdown for how I actually calculate these top teams.
I see.
So it gives the official tournaments, they go off the standard scoring for regionals.
Okay.
And the unofficial tournaments, I kind of hand wavy, kind of guesstimated this, and no one's complained so far, so I think it's good.
Okay, I see how we did. All right, so then we go from 8 to 16 or 8 to 15, then 16 to 31. Okay, so basically 16, 32, top 64, top 128. And then over here, this is just for official tournaments, right? So we're separating the grassroots from the regionals, correct?
Just in terms of scoring, yes.
I see. Okay. And then if we go back to 6, okay. So let's say I click record and I click this Koraidon team here. So now you're telling me that this 6, in terms of composition, this is where this 6 was used in those tournaments after NAIC, correct?
Correct.
Now, that being said, that doesn't mean it was the same team. It probably just means same 6, but maybe different sets, correct?
Yeah, that's right. It's just the same 6. It could have different items. It could have different moves, but it's just those core 6 Pokemon.
All right, let's take a look here. So let's look at this guy, Kinks, from another Himi Turner tournament. He has this set with the Gastrodon there, but and then here's Fluttermane, Booster, Chiyu, Clover, Cloak. Is that going to be the same as per se maybe this guy over here from Pretty Flacco? It might be Terra Water, Terra Poison. Okay, this by chance was looks like the same team, but let's look at another one here. How about this one at 4-2? Was this the same team? Okay, it may... Wait. Oh, wait, this one had Raging Bolt as Electric. Okay, so it looks like maybe this may have been a rental somewhere because I think they're the same sets.
Very possible.
Yeah. And, and that's fine. If there's a rental running around, then, it'll be the same kind of team. That's totally okay. This might have been like posted somewhere. And this one, okay, so I already see a couple differences on this one. Terra Fairy Gastrodon, whereas the others were Terra Poison. And then this is still Terra Water Chiyu with Clover Cloak and Taunt. That one is also true there. Actually, this one has Ice Beam, Earth Power Yawn. Okay, no, that's the same set. It was just the Terra over here that's different. So yeah, I guess that was the one main difference, the Terra option there. But hey, listen, you'll probably still expect to see like some different sets here. But I'll click Terrapagos here. Maybe this one might be different. And then let's click this one here. So Mystic Water. Actually, oh look, another one. Oh wait, it's the same player. No, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. All right. Let's look at this. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. So this one is like substitute Terrapagos. Whereas, wait, actually no, they had the same thing. Wait, this might be another rental. Okay. All right. Shoma Fan and then Magikora. Okay. All right. So more or less the same people. But okay, it's pretty cool that I can see this. And then let's look at win rates again. Take it with a grain of salt. Like just make sure you have a good sample size. Now we have the Zamazenta squad here, and this looks like the Michael Zhang squad with Moltres, but here's a Ditto here. Okay, and I can always filter this. So like, let's say hey Clover, I want to build a Zamazenta team. Okay, so like here we go. Like I guess, can I filter that more, or is this just like top teams overall? I would have to go to find teams. Yeah.
You can go filtering them if you want to say. It won't do a whole lot when you're looking at composition 6, but the search here does work if you're looking at composition 4 and 5. That it does still.
Okay.
Actually, no, sorry. I'm getting myself mixed up. The search does still work, so I can look for teams with Raging Bolt or something like that, and it will filter those top teams for something with Raging Bolt or Zamazenta.
Okay, yeah. So like this, I typed in Zamazenta, and after NAIC, these were the top Zamazenta teams that were used in the tours, correct?
Correct. Yep.
All right. So hey, Clover, I need a Zamazenta team. All right, I'm just gonna pull this up and give you this 6. Here it is. Now we'll just slap on some EVs, and then we're good. Actually, this is a pretty good Zamazenta team. I'm not gonna lie. Like if I had to use it, like good. Give me Rillaboom, give me Chen Pao and Raging Bolt, and that's all I need. The other 2 slots are pretty subjective. Okay. All right, so that's good.
So yeah, kind of the point of this page is to find not just top teams, but the most consistent teams that you see that they're not only placing high, but they're consistently getting some pretty good usage and results.
Yeah, because like, this is all like win rate here. Like, what if I, let me see, maybe if I do Calyrex. Okay, so like, okay, Calyrex is a lot more common, right? But you have to be careful with Calyrex. Like again, win rates. Okay, so this is like okay, decent size, so pretty successful here. Oh, this one is with Thundurus. I want to look at this, like even just Thundurus. But now I'm more interested in the fine teams. Like I want to know the difference between like top teams versus fine teams. So
just before that, I'll quickly point out that if you go to composition 4, you see that. To no one's surprise, number 1, the Raging Bolt, Incin, Rillaboom, Urshifu Rapid Strike, that's such a good core that you can slap on anything, that you can expand it and you can see the rest of the teams
Oh, I
and
see.
how that varies and what they actually assign to them. But yeah, it shows what are the good cores for teams.
Okay, so right away, this tells me, listen, if I want to start building a good VGC team after NAIC, I just start with these four because that's what the data is telling me. Okay, start with Instant Rillaboom Ursh, slap on a Raging Bolt, pick a restricted, looks like Caloric Shadow Rider is the way to go, and then have a +1 slot. How about Ice Rider? Still also using that same core. So that's pretty interesting. Kyogre also uses this core. Okay, what else is using this core? Am I gonna just find, or is it just gonna be those three? Might
I
be.
think it's mainly those three.
Yeah. Hey, there's Mousehold yet again. Who's this? Okay. Yeah. Look. Okay. So it's pretty clear. Like, okay, it's Kyogre, Calyrex Shadow Rider, Calyrex Ice Rider. Okay. There's that one Zamazenta team that also utilized that core. Okay. But what this means is, look, if I have these four, I think my best bet is to use the Shadow Rider or the Ice Rider because that's really all I'm seeing right now. Okay. All right. So I guess that's pretty good information. And then of course down here, you can look at some other interesting trends, but composition wise, this is also like pretty cool. I never really click the 4 and the 5. I always just use the 6. So this is pretty cool in essence. I do like that a lot. But yeah, now let's look at find teams and let's see the difference between top teams and the find teams tab. All right, so now we're going to go into the Find Teams tab, and now this is what we see. So, Tim, walk me through this. What is the difference between the Find Teams tab versus the Top Teams tab?
Well, the top teams is just the teams that are consistently doing the best, and it's to highlight what is working and what isn't.
Mm-hmm.
The Find Teams page is really to help you with your team building process and try to find teams with the Pokemon that you're interested in.
So this is where I can get cheeky and be like, I want to use a team with Pikachu. Who has used that so far, correct?
Correct, yep.
All right, there you go. I'm typing Pikachu. Okay.
Wrong section.
Wait, oops. Right here, Pikachu. Okay. Who has used Pikachu? Literally nobody. Okay, let's.
No, does not look like it.
Okay, all right. So let's pick another Pokemon. Oh, wait.
Oh, it just took a little bit of time.
Wait, what? Oh, Tim, what was that lag?
That is a good twist. It's sometimes it just takes a. I don't know. I just tried it myself. It worked pretty instantly. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, all right. So here we go. Max D's VGC. I know this player. This guy always brings Pikachu to everything he wants. All right, so basically from July 15th to July 29th, you can also change the date range. Like I can go far as back as, post NAIC to now. All right, I'll search that again. And then I can see all the teams that have used Pikachu up until this point. So, folks, if you're trying to come to me and say, Culver, I want to make this Pokemon work, like Okie Dokie, for example, what is the best way to do it? Well, I mean, oh my goodness, that took like 30 seconds. Look at all the teams with Pikachu now. But that's pretty cool. So here we go. You wanted Okie Dokie. Okay. Pretty decent niche option that doesn't get as much play as one would. And these are all the teams with Okie Dokie, right?
Correct.
For
and if you wanna be more specific and you wanna see which ones are using Okie Dokie that are actually good, you could add filtering to the min players and min placement. So you could say, I want tournaments that had at least minimum 50 players.
How many? Like, let's say 15? I don't
know. 50.
50. Oh, yeah. So we want large tournaments. We don't want tournaments that only had like 10 players. So let's do minimum 50.
Wrong section. That was min placement.
Min placement, sorry. 50. And then min placement.
Top 16?
Yeah, we'll do that. Top 16. Okay, now let's readjust our filters so we don't go and look at the 05 teams. We that's not going to help us. All right, and this is what we get, correct?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, these are the most successful Okie Dokie teams, right? So look at that. No surprise, it's paired with Lunala. One of the biggest threats to Lunala is Incineroar, right? And Okie Dokie does really well against Incineroar. So that's pretty cool. Then you see a Kyogre team here. More Lunala stuff. There's a Giratina team running around. I don't know who's playing this, but God bless them. And then we've got more Lunala stuff. So this is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Look at this 6-3. Let me peep this. So like Ursa, Luna, Ensign, Ogerpon, and then we have an Okidogi here. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, Terra Normal. Oh, that's a set with Covert Cloak. No AV. That's because the AV's on the Ensign. Oh wow. How about this one? Angelo Hunter. Look at this. Oh, all right. This one has the AV. And then we have a Covert Cloak on the Ogerpon. Oh, this is the Grass Ogerpon. Okay, so this is pretty cool. All right, so I guess that's the main difference, right? I just want to find someone that's using a particular Pokemon, whereas the top teams is like, show me the best teams, and the best comps, as of late, correct?
Yeah, and you can go a whole lot more detailed with this.
Okay.
You can include multiple Pokemon. If you go to the show details, then you can get significantly more if you want Okidoki that's running Assault Vest or is using Drain Punch or all sorts of things. You can also say, hey, I want to get all Zamazenta teams that don't have Chin Pao, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but that's an option that you could do.
Yeah, I can. Oh, yeah, that's also important. Like, I can just do. So let's filter that. So I want Zamazenta, and then that don't have Chen Pao. So I would put Chen Pao here, but excluded, correct?
Correct.
All right. And
I'm not sure if we'll get anything, but
let's see. And
I don't know. I got a few.
We do. Wait. Where? I see nothing on my page.
Do you hit search?
I did. It might be lagging again, Tim. Is this the LabMaus lag, server lag, or is this just my internet failing me? But
it works on mine. What was your date range?
June to July. Okay, maybe it's taking a while because of that.
I did June 10th to today.
Okay, well, I have gotten nothing. Okay, well, maybe it works for you guys, but you did see, like, when I was searching for Pikachu, it did lag a little bit. But that's okay. I'm sure, or maybe there just is. Oh, but you said you got some hits, right?
Yeah, I've got results here.
With 50 minimum and top 16?
Yes.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, I've got several.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it doesn't show up for me, but that's okay. Maybe it'll show up for you guys, but maybe if you have better internet than me. But okay, that's pretty cool. All right. So now let's see.
You know why? You know why? Because you still have Assault Vest in your item for Zamazenta.
Shoot! Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Now.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? We got some results here. Okay, look at this. 10-2, a non-Chen-Pao Zamazenta with some. Oh, these are some interesting results. Okay, look at this. Let's look at this one. This one has the Moltres, right? Ursh, Rillaboom, Raging Bull, Pelipper. Still pretty solid. Okay. Then we have this one. This one's a little bit more HO with Tornadus, Chi-Yu, and Ursh. Okay, yes. That's always the very good starting core for hyper offense. There's some teams here. Hold on a second. There's a Rhydon team that went 7-3. Hold on, wait. I want to look at this. What is this? Crunch High Horsepower Rock Tomb. Okay, who needs Chen-Pao when you've got Rhydon? Okay, all right. I respect it. This is pretty good. Again. We excluded Chen-Pao, so that's another good feature. Maybe you guys are just not a fan of Chen-Pao. You might say, okay, fine, then you can exclude it, and now you can find more teams that just don't have Chen-Pao if you wanted to look at more Zamazenta stuff. So again, it's just like good tool to have. Like, it gives you an idea, a starting point. Because some of you guys, you come to me and say, look, I have no idea where to start. Now you can, if you just use the website and take a couple minutes to explore it. So this is pretty cool. But Tim, what do you say now we take a look at meta trends and see if we can make some predictions for the World Championships, yeah?
Sounds fantastic.
Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to see if we can make some predictions and meta trends. And we'll go through a couple of examples just to see how Pokemon, how have they adjusted and adapted and progressed as the format has gone along. So I'm going to click a date range from June 1st up until right now, which is, again, July 29th. And I'm going to click Urshifu here, right? And we're going to apply the filter. And this is what we're looking at here. So there's a couple of titles here. You've got usage, tournament standings, items, moves, teammates, Terra types. And then what we've also done is, again, we can have a little filter here, right? So Tim, tell me about these filters with number of tournaments and minimum players.
Yeah, absolutely. So default display, just to keep it nice and clean, is default. It looks for tournaments with minimum 50 players, and it'll gather the 8 most recent tournaments within the time range specified. It usually defaults to the last 2 weeks,
Okay.
but we can change that. So we can go to start of June to now, and we can set the min players to, let's say, 80. We care more about the larger tournaments, and just to get a larger set of trend data, we can say the most recent 20 tournaments.
All right. The most recent 20 tournaments with at least 80 players. Okay.
Yes,
And again, this is what we'll see. Like again, we already had it like pre-updated on there, but is this what you see on your screen?
that's exactly what I see.
Yeah. So look at this. So usage rate, spiking all the way up there, coming back down, spiking back up, and then up there, back down again. But what's interesting is I think the items, right?
Yeah, as we can see, Urshifu Rapid Strike has been using almost primarily or almost exclusively the Choice Scarf for the longest time, and you can see over time here we're seeing a gradual decrease in Choice Scarf and a gradual increase in Focus Sash, and you can hover over those and it can highlight any one that you're looking at. You can also click on the ones that you don't care about, and you can hide that data.
I see. So I don't care about Ban. I don't care about Life Orb. I don't care about Salt Vest or Splash Plate is, I guess, the same thing. But yeah, okay. So yeah, like that's also pretty cool. Like the fact that Urshifu, again, for a very long time, very popular with the choice card, but you can see the little downward trend. And as you said, the Focus Sash, let me just click all these others off. The Focus Sash actually has seen an interesting increase. So maybe you might see a little bit more of that as we get even closer to the World Championships. How about Terra types here? Is it still pretty consistent with water? Is there a recent rise? I don't think so.
Looks like we saw a little bit dip during the Petalos Cup, but apart from that, it's still been pretty consistently water Terra type,
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty standard.
with Ghost being most or second most.
Yep. Oh, there's the coaching has still been pretty standard. Of course, Surging Strikes at the top. Same with Close Combat. How about
Yep.
Aqua Jet? Okay, that's still pretty consistent. I know some people have forgone that for Taunt. And here's the, I do want to at least take a look at that. Taunt. Okay, yeah, it's always like up and down. It depends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then teammates. Of course, like these are the most popular teammates that you can use. Rillaboom, of course, being up there. Ensign, Raging Bolt, Calyx. Okay, so now
Nope.
Tim, my question here now is, okay, this is like for Urshifu, but what if I wanted to pinpoint a Pokemon that has been rising? Do I have to just go down this list one by one and hope I find it?
Yes. Essentially, you would have to look through them individually to try to find that trend data. You can also partially rely on the teammates page, as you can see on the Urshifu Rapid Strike. If you're looking at the teammates, you actually see a decline in Incineroar. So the question of is are we seeing fewer Incineroar? So that might be a good point to start looking at the Incineroar and see if its usage is actually going down.
I do see that, yeah. Yeah, and then let me take a look at that. Like, is that actually true? Or is that just like a thing? So let me
I
click
mean,
Ensign here. Oh,
well, that's just the number of times it's paired together. That
oh,
doesn't necessarily mean it's its usage, but it's the
oh, okay.
times that they're being paired together is going down, which might be a result of its usage dropping.
Okay, I see. That's also interesting to note.
Yeah,
That's pretty
but
cool.
yeah,
Okay,
if we go to Incineroar, you hit apply filters again, and it'll update for. Uh, yeah, just hit apply filters. It'll reset for what you already had,
oh, I see. And then
and you can
here's
see a slight decrease, but nothing really too notable. But
okay.
it's still very very high.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and again, it's just like okay, maybe I may take a look at some other partners, and even the Terra type here. Ghost is still pretty strong. The others are pretty much just fighting for grabs here. Item wise, looks like goggles might still be the best thing here. It looks like it, yeah, without a doubt. Goggles is still the best item on Incineroar.
By far, yep.
Yeah, for sure. How about like restricted wise, like maybe I'm interested in Terrapagos. Hold on, I'm gonna click that thing.
Just search,
Terra,
yep.
Terra, okay, because it was a little bit interesting to see that there wasn't too much in that other victory road too. But I always take it with a grain of salt. Tournaments like that is always like rock paper scissors. But yeah, so now if I click Terrapagos, yeah.
If you look at tournament standings and you turn off average and lowest, you can get a better idea of the highest placements.
Tournament standings.
Just turn off the average and lowest.
Oh.
And you can see that it's it hasn't been doing too well lately.
Okay, it's like, oh my goodness. Okay.
Kind of inconsistent.
Yeah, it's like up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay. Teammates here. That looks like it was turned off. Let me turn it right back on. And looks like for a while Chiyu was pretty decent. Then it went to like almost nothing, according to this.
Just the most recent tournament, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I would figure Chiyu might come a little bit more. How about Iron Hands? Also a little interesting. Rillaboom. Okay, that one looks like a little bit in the upwards trend, just because of Miraidon stuff.
Iron Hands has definitely had an upwards trend, though.
Yeah, and I think I also want to look at that. Like, I have seen Iron Hands, do quite well recently. Let me apply this filter. Oh my god, wait, what happened here?
I guess no one decided to bring it during the latest Simi Tour.
Yeah, oh man. Oh, that's okay. But again, I look at tournament standings, still doing like pretty solid here. Like it's in the upward mark.
Yeah.
Fake out, wild chart. Okay. And then I get to look at move sets here. So this is pretty good. Now, again, we're not going to go through like all the Pokemon here, but again, this will give you some idea as far as like where this Pokemon is headed in terms of a trend, leading up to Worlds. So like as you get closer, you can probably adjust this filter and just see like, is Fake Out on the downward trend? Is Drain Punch on the upward trend? It's pretty useful, and it gives you an idea of a set, and as well as like potential partners. Like, of course, Miraidon, being very, very popular to use because of the Quark Drive. And then even stuff like Bloodwind or Saluna or Urshifu. These are all like things that you can look at in terms of, predictions. And, item-wise, again, that'll also give you some idea like, okay, what's like a really good hot item that people are trying right now. Is there anything else I can use this page for?
I think this covers it for the most parts.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then we have like some info, some facts. Okay, so this is pretty cool. So yeah, folks, we'll just wrap it up here, and we'll give you some final thoughts, and maybe Tim can enlighten some insights as to what some future updates could be coming for LabMaus. All right, folks. So that's gonna do it here for the LabMaus website preview here. So again, Tim, thanks for joining us here today. So I think it's always good to, look at resources, in terms of team building and construction, and make some claim about the meta at the given moment. And this website can do just that. So is there anything or anybody that you want to thank and shout out as far as like the website progression is concerned?
I would love to shout out the Little Root Lessons Discord community. That's really where all of this started, as well as a lot of the guys that help support this. Ro and Baradet, who's the creator of Passers, and Evan, who's the creator of VGC Pace. That we all came from the same community, and we all kind of built off of each other, so that they were huge inspirations, as well as the VGC Trainer School. They were instrumental when the website was first being developed, that they helped with a lot of finding the bugs and just helping me fine tune it.
Yeah, for sure. And again, like you said, like Evan with VGC Pace, that's another resource that you should also take advantage of, that has like a lot of other, not just Pace, but also EV spreads of people that made it public. So that's another cool resource that you can use. This with Peakalytics, Munch Stats, again, it's all good, valuable information that you can look at in terms of construction. You're never alone in the dark right? It's 2024. You have internet access, and websites and resources like this make competitive Pokemon a little bit more accessible because you have something to base your stuff off. So Tim, now last question. What's in store for future updates? What are we expected to see moving forward?
Oh, there's the work never ends. At the moment, I'm just focusing on a little bit of polishing and fine tuning to just improve the site. But I think the two largest things that I'd like to focus on were the strongest soldiers page. That was something that I've done a few times per regulation, just calculating. We have the top teams, and I like to calculate who performed the best per Pokemon for an entire regulation.
Oh.
And so I've posted that a couple times for the last two regulations. I'd like to make a proper page for that rather than an Excel file. And then the other thing, a little bit more long term, would be adding support for people to be able to upload local tournaments so that they have, at the moment, they have virtually no coverage. I would love to be able to support them so that they could upload their data to here.
I see. Yeah, I've seen, they post all the time on Twitter. I see the nice little top 8 graphic. But, other than that, that's pretty much it, right? So if they can get that into LabMaus somehow, that would be also very, very cool to see. All right. Thanks again, Tim. Again, it's a great website. It's helped us, make videos and get content out, because again, without it, it's a little bit harder. I would have to like manually go through, different tournaments and just graphics. But, the fact that I have a website to use and click off of, it's been good for our channel as well. So thank you again, Tim. Folks, we'll be back with another video in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.